Hello, my name is Miriam Chavez Reynoso, ASAM 325, Section 5, and this is my digital television series proposal. The type of TV show that I'm proposing is an original comedy series. The emphasis of the show is to portray an exaggeration of the everyday life events surrounding Asian American comedian and actor Bobby Lee. The proposal is inspired by real-life events and people surrounding Bobby Lee's life, as well as inspirations from his comedy career and his podcast called Tiger Belly. The title for my TV series is Bobby Lee's World, and the theme of my TV show is Be Careful for What You Wish For. The actors for the main role are comedian and actor Bobby Lee as himself, Kalila Kuhn as Bobby's girlfriend, Gilbert Galone as Bobby's friend, George Kimmel as Bobby's friend also, Ken Jeong as Bobby's friend and himself, and Randall Park as Kim Jong-un. Here is my story. The story first starts off in the city of Koreatown in central LA on a Monday afternoon. Bobby and Kalila are out and about having a romantic date at their favorite Korean barbecue restaurant called Hae Jang Chong. Bobby knows that this is a legit and authentic Korean barbecue restaurant just because it's hard to pronounce the name. As the couple are eating their food, Bobby randomly notices that there's a lot of Koreans at the restaurant. But Kalila sarcastically tells him, "Babe, we're in K-Town, remember?" And Bobby responds, "Oh yeah, I forgot." In fact, in 1882, the United States and Korea established the United States-Korea Treaty of 1882 to end Korea's self-imposed isolation. This treaty paved the way for Korean immigration to the U.S. in the late 1880s. After having their dinner, Bobby and Kalila speeded through the 405 just to get in time to hold their weekly Monday podcast called Tiger Belly. The podcast crew includes Bobby, Kalila, Gilbert, and George. They are all getting ready to receive and host their important guest for tonight's podcast, which is comedian Ken Jeong. At this point, Bobby's having a mini panic attack because he's never had Ken at the podcast, and is afraid his armpit sweat will leave a bad first impression. Bobby storms off to his bedroom and changes his clothes. Usually in any other normal podcast, Bobby would be wearing his boxers and his beanie, but for tonight he's dressing up all fancy by wearing actual clothes. Ken has just arrived at the complex and the podcast crew is ready to receive him. The podcast first starts with introductions, and then Bobby takes over as usual. During the podcast, both Bobby and Ken talk, laugh, and reminisce about their good times working together at Matt TV, as well as performing stand-up comedy at the Comedy Store, going on the road, and acting. At one point in the podcast, the conversation turns serious when Ken addresses how both him and Bobby should take more opportunities in comedy and in acting to not only help them build their brand in Hollywood, but as well to inspire other Asians to follow their footsteps. Bobby then abruptly stands up, his jeans almost falling off his waist, nearly scaring Kalila, who's right next to him, asks Ken, "Why didn't they cast me for Crazy Rich Asians, huh?" Ken then responds, "You were too handsome for the lead." Laughter then fills up the room, and Kalila then continues the bid by consoling Bobby with a kiss on the cheek. Bobby then states how he wishes that he had more opportunities in Hollywood, and then Ken agreed with him. The podcast is nearly ending, and Bobby all of a sudden gets a strange call from his phone. Both Bobby and Kalila then look at the number and notice that it's a phone number from abroad. Bobby Lee picks up the call and puts the call on speaker mode. All of a sudden, the person on the other end of the call starts speaking in Korean. Only Bobby and Ken know what the other person is saying because they understand Korean. The person on the line addresses himself as Kim Jong-un, the leader of North Korea. Bobby and Ken don't buy it, mock the person's voice, and hang up the call. Gilbert and George tells Bobby to FaceTime the number for the bid, and so he does. At everyone's surprise, Kim Jong-un picks up the FaceTime call. Everyone at this point is surprised. Kim Jong-un starts fangirling over Bobby and Ken. He then cuts the small talk and gets right to his point. He didn't ask, but rather demanded that Bobby and Ken and his crew should come over to his residence in North Korea to do a private stand-up show for him and his entourage next week. Bobby immediately tells him yes and hangs up the call. At this point, Bobby can't believe what he just did. Everyone in the room starts chasing Bobby, and Bobby runs out the apartment towards the street. Everyone yells at him, "Why did you say yes? Are you crazy?" Ken states, "We're gonna get killed. They're gonna feed us stale kimchi and make us drink kid tears." Kalila angrily yells at Bobby, "Don't you know that the US was at war with North Korea at one point?" Gilbert then said, They're gonna hold me and Kalila captive because we're Filipino. They're gonna make us clean their toilets. Then George responds, at least you guys will make it out alive because they for sure are gonna kill me because I'm white. Bobby laughs at George. Ken then tells Bobby, if we show up, we're gonna be treated like royalty. Wait a minute, I don't think it's a bad plan after all. Everyone at this point has no clue in what to do. Bobby already agreed to the agreement. Ken tells Bobby to call him back. Maybe he changed his mind. Bobby refuses and accepts the fact and says, I guess we're all flying to Seoul next week. I have 2 justifications that this series will work. Here is a citation. His fans are truly 100% loyal, make no mistake about it. Whenever he may be, they come out in droves. As I sit in the back of the club, it's clear to me, even on the roughest Sunday night for a comedian, just how much love there is in this room for the man. These people literally drove out in the middle of a Chicago snowstorm just for him. This is true dedication. This was written by Andrew Buss on March 12, 2018 from The Laugh Button. Here are 2 examples of successful Asian American shows, Dr. Ken and Fresh Off the Boat. Here is a picture of myself. I use iMovie background music for the music used in this proposal. Thank you for watching.